Hi, welcome to Sonia's Morning Inspiration. You're tuned in on Great Talks from the Heart YouTube channel. And today I have an interesting story for you. Now, do you remember yesterday when I was talking about not allowing things to ruin your whole day? How about I tell you, I was actually tested that same day, and I had to actually take my own advice. I tell you, God has a sense of humor. I'm going to go ahead and explain in a bit. What I want to say is I had received a phone call, right? I received a phone call from my neighbors. They're photographers, videographers, and they do weddings, commercials, and they asked me if I wanted to come out with them on the shoot. And I said, sure, no problem. But I was in the process of doing something. And I told him, all right, I'm going to rearrange my schedule and I'm going to get ready and I'll, leave out. Anyway, her husband, the wife called me. And then she put me on the phone to talk to the husband to get the time and so forth. But he was telling me the time because they were in the process of doing a shoot already. But they were doing an indoor and an outdoor. So he gave me the time they were leaving out to go do the outdoor shoot. I'm thinking it was the time to do the second shoot, different from what they were already doing. So I changed my clothes, got dressed and everything. I ain't gonna lie, I was about 6 minutes late. When I went out, it was like 6 minutes, but I looked through my window, I didn't see his truck outside. I said, okay, maybe he put it back in his driveway. I walked out, went to check the driveway, nothing. I made a phone call, nobody answered. I rang the bell. Their friend answered and said they left. So I'm saying to myself, they really left me. And before I was in the house, I'm telling my daughters, I'm like, yo, they left me. I think they left me. And my ringer was on, so I checked my phone to see if I missed any call from them. And I went over there, checked it out, they were gone. I called, she didn't answer. I did also text before I called, no reply. So I'm like, okay, I know they didn't leave me. They could have called and just said, hey, they were rushing, or they couldn't wait, or if I'm ready or anything. They didn't say anything. And I'm like, usually, that's not like them. If I say I'm gonna go somewhere, they know I'm gonna go. And I said, you know what? I came and I sat down in my chair and I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm actually being tested right now. And I was saying this to my daughters. I was like, I'm actually being tested right now. And I said, wait, I got to apply what I just finished telling my viewers that they need to do. Don't let nothing ruin their whole day. And I said, I'm not going to let this ruin my whole day. Now, let me be honest with you. I'm inside my feelings, like wrestling, because I'm like, nah. This don't make no sense. It's not like it was planned and I knew this ahead of time. They just called me and asked me, so they could have waited. But in the back of my mind is like, something don't seem right, because that's not the type, they don't seem to be that type of people. So I went and brought my daughter to the beauty supply store, and on my way coming back, she called me back. And I'm like, why is she even calling me anyway? It don't make sense now. If you already love, what's the point of calling me back? Like, what is it you're going to say? So anyway, I'm contemplating if I'm going to answer the phone. The phone answered. And she said, no, we didn't leave yet. We just went to go do the outdoor shoot. We're heading back to the house to drop up, to get some things, pack up and roll out. I said, man, I changed my clothes and I'm on the road with my daughter. I am on my way home, but I'm on the road with my daughter, and I'm going to, I would have to change again and whatever. She said, well, if you want, if we get there before you and we have to run out, you can meet us out there, or we might meet up at the same time. They told me what park they were at. And I said, well, I'm here at this location. I'm heading up. I'm heading home anyway. So we might run. She said we might run into each other. So I said, okay. And I hung up the phone. But what I was trying to say before I got to this part was, it's like I wanted to be in my feelings. Like, I felt like I wanted to call my friend. I wanted to call my sister and my niece and explain, like, oh, guess what just happened? Like, it just don't make no sense to me. Why would they leave? But I kept telling myself, no, I'm not going to let this ruin my day. I'm not going to let this ruin my day. I'm not even going to think about it. So I went on YouTube and on something that I've been wanting to watch on YouTube. And I just started focusing on that. Fast forwarding back to after I took the call, my daughter was in the car, and I said to her, I was like, you see, good thing I wasn't really all up in my feelings. Even though I didn't feel like I wanted to answer the phone, good thing I took the call, because I would be thinking one thing and they would be thinking one thing, and really it had nothing to do with either one of us would be thinking. And my daughter, of course, she started laughing. And, so I was able to demonstrate what I mentioned or was advising. I actually had to put that into play. And I thank God that I was conscious and cautious. I was able to catch myself and not get into it. Because if I did allow myself to get in my feelings, I would have never answered the phone. I know that for sure. And I would have probably been dwelling on what nonsense they're gonna tell me or so forth. And the funny thing is too, when we got in the car and we started to leave, I was like, guys, I gotta be honest with y'all. Like, this is what I talked about today, not allowing nothing to ruin your day. And here, I'm thinking y'all left me with no warning, no nothing. And I'm calling, nobody answered, and we just laughing it all out, everything. And I was like, guys, I'm just being truthful. This is how I was feeling, and how I was battling not to feel this way, and the fact that I didn't allow myself to get into that funk. I was able to answer the call. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel like answering the call, and we just dialoguing and we're talking, and it was just basically a great testimony. I actually passed that test, and I was aware that I was being tested. And I just wanted to share with you that I'm not just telling you guys things just because I feel like I can inspire or talk, or I enjoy doing this, or this is a part of me, this is what I love doing. I definitely face challenges too and have to practice what I am saying. And I don't necessarily share things that I do not try to practice. I'm not saying I don't struggle in areas and so forth, but I try my best to practice what I'm saying. And the same goes for you. Whatever it is that you're saying or you're telling someone to do, and it's beneficial to that person, make sure you're capable, or you will practice, or you are practicing it as well. And basically, this was my testimony that I wanted to share. It was so funny. I had to look up at God and say, God, you have a great sense of humor. And I couldn't argue with it. But I just had to share this because it's just the way it happened. This is nobody but God. While he's using me to help others, he's using what I am doing to also help me. And that's how great God is. He is so great. God is great. He is great. He is great. And I hope this will be beneficial to you, because it definitely was to me. And I definitely had to share it. I actually couldn't wait to share it because it was just like spot on. And I thank God for these experiences, because I definitely learned from them. And I'm happy that I can share them with you all. I love you. Have a blessed and wonderful morning. And remember, do not let anybody ruin your day. Purpose yourself to have a great day. Thank you for tuning into Sonia's Morning Inspiration on Great Talks from the Heart YouTube channel.